Good afternoon. I'm down in Wonthaggi in Gippsland, just heading out towards, I think it's Cutler's Beach. I'm doing a bit of a loop around. It's about 16 k's, bit of a beach walk. So yeah, it should be a nice walk. I started off walking through or start and finish actually, walking through the old State Coal Mine. So I'll swing the camera around when I get up to that and show you what I'm looking at. Because yeah, at the moment I'm just walking out of town. So I've been following the Bass Coast Rail Trail for a little bit out of Wonthaggi. I'm at the old State Coal Mine down at Wonthaggi now. I'm just going to walk through here on my way down to the coast. It's grass is pretty long through here, so just be a bit careful of snakes, I guess. So if anyone wants to do this walk, when you get into the State Coal Mine, the old State Coal Mine, aim for this dilapidated building. There'll be bits of it still here. It's been falling down for about 40 years. Every time I come down, it's a little bit more dilapidated. But it's a fairly big landmark, so aim for that. And then I'm going to swing right up onto that kind of mound there, I think. The signposting through here is pretty hit and miss. This old piece of plant is an attraction in its own right, I reckon. All right, I've climbed up onto that bank. This is an old haul road, West Area Haulage Road. So I'm only going to follow this for a little while, I think. I don't know if those bees were coming up. There's a few around. So I'm still on the West Area Haulage Road. I'll follow this for a little while. So player comfort level today is pretty good. It's low 20s, probably actually less than that here, probably 18, 19. It's a little bit overcast and the clouds coming in. The only issue I've got with this walk, and it's just going to be an annoyance more than anything, is I'm going to hit the beach at high tide. So the 4 or 5 k's on the beach could be a bit of a slog, but that's the way it goes. All right, I've been following this Western Area Haul Road till pretty much the end. I reckon that's the end of it down there. Looks like there's a pony club or something here. However, I'm heading this way onto a walking track. So, somewhat ironically, I'm leaving the old coal mine reserve and heading into an area of wind farms. So I've walked from the past to the future in one way. So this is the Baxter wetlands area that I'm walking through now. I think there may be a view from the top of this little hill here. We'll have a look when we get up there. So there's no view from the top of that little hill, but I'm walking beside some wetlands here. I can't be bothered bush bashing through the bracken to get a clear look, so I'm staying on the slashed walking track at the moment. So here's a decent look at those wetlands. There's the wind farm in the distance. Okay, so I've had a bit of a variation to my walk. I'm going to be doing like a figure 8 now. I missed a turn about 2 k's back, so yeah, anyway, serves me right for not looking at the map, but it won't really matter. So this is the way I was going to walk back out this road, so now I'm walking down towards the coast along there. Okay, I've been walking, I think this is Chisholm Road for a k or two. I've passed all the farms and I've met the Yallock Bullock Marine Coastal Park. I'm heading bush again. I wouldn't mind seeing a bandicoot. It's a fairly slim chance though. Alright, now there's a lot of tracks in this place too, so I'm going to head towards the coast and then swing kind of westerly. So certainly not a lot of elevation on this walk. Best you get is these kind of sand dunes, these vegetated sand dunes that I'm walking over. So there's a few tracks branching off through here. I'm just basically heading south and ignoring the tracks on my left and right. Okay, there's a sign here. So this Hamer's Haven, I'm following that direction, although I don't go to Hamer's Haven. But Hamer's Haven's off to my left. I'm going to swing right down here. This is probably not a walk to do on a really hot day because it's pretty exposed through here. So there's plenty of colour in the heath. Not a lot of colour in the sky, unfortunately. I'm about to swing west down at this tree line, I think, and kind of track along until I meet the coast. Hamer's Haven's out to my left. Okay, this is the spot, Collins Track, where I swing to the west. This will be more of a walking track than a 4-wheel drive track, I reckon. Be interesting if I sometimes some of these tracks in this heathland get very swampy. Be interesting if I get any water on the track today. So Collins Track is the best walking so far on the whole walk. I think it's probably springtime's helping because of the heath. It's also a nice kind of soft grassy pad. At the same time it's fairly clear of trees. I'm making my way closer to the beach. So I reckon this is the area that'd be swampy in winter. So far so good today. Okay, I've come out of there. That's Collins Track. I'm going to hit the coast down here, I think. I did try this track here, which on my map showed a track going down 300 metres down to the beach, but I couldn't find it. So we'll try this this 4-wheel drive track. There's a sign here indicating beach access, so this will do. I'll just hit the beach a few hundred metres before I planned. So this is Cutler's Beach, in case you're wondering when I get there. So that headland in the murk is Cape Woolamai. It's a shame it's so grey and flat. Anyway. So I'm going to follow the coast now for, I don't know, about 4 or 5 k's, I guess. Bass rate's not looking too rough today. So this is one beach where you won't be overrun with crowds, in my experience. So I'm obviously heading towards the, well, Melbourne, Phillip Island, Kilcunda direction at the moment. I don't think there's a lot, well, the Powlett River, I think you'll probably get across that. I don't think there's a lot of stop you walking all the way to Kilcunda along here. So I've been lucky on the beach so far. The sun's actually come out a bit. It's pretty well as bright as it's been all day. I've only got another K maybe to go and I swing back up into the near the wind farm. Magic day. So I wonder if that darker seam is start of a coal seam. I know there's a lot of coal around there, especially down Kilcunda. You can see it in the cliffs. Okay. This is where I leave the beach. So this is Baxter's Beach, I think. I started at Cutler's and I've walked west towards Baxter's. So I'm heading inland now. I'm at a car park, I think, up here a bit, near these windmills. So I've got an idea these windmills and this wind farm might be for the diesel plant, which is just half a K from here, maybe a kilometre. Okay, I've just emerged from there. This is the edge of the wind farm. I'm going to cross over this road and head into the bush over there, I think. Might be time for a bit of a break though. I think it maybe empty the sand out of my out of my shoes. So there you go, 6 turbines. It's only a baby. Alright, I'm heading through here. So I'm just walking, that's the wind farm over there. There's a small parcel of native bush that I'm walking here, and there's another paddock on this side. I'm kind of skirting around this paddock now, I think, around that tree line, I guess. I reckon it's only a baby compared to some of the big ones nowadays. So the walk isn't going to be a figure 8 anymore. It's going to be basically a lollipop. I'm going to go back in along that Western Haul Road. It's been a bit of a kind of make your own adventure. This signposting's been a little hit and miss in spots, so I've done a little bit of exploring, obviously. Just saw the first roos of the day. They're a bit camera shy, unfortunately. They did hop down this direction though, so I might see them again. Plenty of birds. There's the roo. It's gone now. So this little intersection here is where I went wrong on the way out. I should have gone the way I've just walked back in. However, I swung towards that little hill there in that lake, which was good. I've never been to the lake, but yeah, it meant the walk became more of a lollipop than a circuit. So from here, I'm retracing my route back to Wonthaggi. You see what I mean about tracks? This track's going in every direction. So that last intersection, it looked like I was heading straight up the hill. I went left at it. It's not signposted either, but this time I was looking at the map. So I'm back on the Western Haul Road. I'm just heading towards that old ramshackle building down here. So I haven't got far to go, about 20 minutes I'll be back at the ute, I think, maybe 25. So this is the end of the haul road. I reckon that was an old railway signal or something. That must have been a processing plant, that building there. In the trees here, there's actually some old like railway wheels or something I noticed on the way up. I didn't go and have a look. Might have a squeeze now. There's some either wheels or cogs or something in here. Let's get back to this ute. This walk's been a bit longer than I imagined it was going to be. That building down there with the tin roof, by the way, is where they used to keep their explosives. I think they've renovated it. That one there is the number 5 brace. I'm not exactly sure what it is. Obviously a processing thing. Yeah, that one down there is where the explosives were kept for the coal mine back in the day. Yeah, so that's the old explosive bunker there. And this is one of the mine shafts there, or the openings. McBride Tunnel. Those pine trees run the Bass Coast Rail Trail, which is where I'm heading for. There's a track, you can see some people walking their dogs down there. So once they hit that, it's just a matter of walking a few hundred metres back into town. Okay, this walk came to about 20k, so a little bit more than I planned. I was thinking it was going to be about 15, but it turned out to be a bit of a make your own adventure. Like I've waffled on about, the tracks are hit and miss around here as far as signposting goes. I initially kind of made up a map following a rough version of Glen Tempest Walk, but then I missed that turn near the wind farm there, and and that made the big loop into an even longer walk. So, but it ended up being like a lollipop. The beach itself, even at high tide, was pretty easy walking. The heathlands were good. So if anyone's thinking of coming through this year, they're dry, so you're not wading through water. So yeah, but just keep an eye. You need a map, so just keep an eye on it, some kind of map. There's plenty of tracks. You're not far from Wonthaggi, but you know, you might, if without a map, you might end up, especially in the heathland where you can't see where you're going, you might end up going around circles a little bit. And if you walk the beach, just keep an eye on the exit. There's not many exits on that beach. It's a particularly remote section of beach. All right, I've only got 100 or so metres to go to get back to the ute. I'll turn the camera off and reset the GPS. Just check the slide at the end, but I think it's going to be about 20 k's and probably about 60 metres climbing. There's not a lot of climbing in this, but there are some soft tracks though with the sand, so just be aware of that. All right, I'll catch you on the next one. Take it easy.